Today I'm going to do one of those videos that I need to shoot right now before I decide it's a bad idea and decide not to do it at all. So I need to get it shot, edited, and uploaded real quick because I could decide, hey, this is a terrible idea. Before I get into that video though, I just want to say forgive the pitter patter upstairs. We have a new puppy. There's no way around it. You're going to hear it. It's going to be there. So this is about my mixing style, which is a little different than what a lot of people talk about when they're talking about different things to do or fundamentals to think about when you're mixing, such as BPM and beat mixing. And some people like to mix in key. And those are all really good techniques, but mine's a little different. I mean, I do those things, but that's not my general rule all night. There's something else that I do. And I've had a really hard time articulating this up until recently. A couple things have been brought to my attention. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I think I understand why I do what I do. See, I don't read music, so I can't explain it to you musically, what I'm doing. I've played instruments before, but I know nothing about sheet music or music theory. I hate drama. I really hate drama. Anybody knows me knows that. But I love dramatic key changes. That is my jam. There's a song by Sergio Mendes called Never Gonna Let You Go. DJ Functional made a post about it today. He's been doing these music challenges where he's making you decide between one song and the other. I think the first one he did was Police Synchronicity 2 versus Rolling Stones Undercover. And I'm thinking to myself, they're both my jam. I don't want to pick. The second one he did today was it Jeffrey Osborne, Stay With Me Tonight? And Sergio Mendes, Never Gonna Let You Go. I was never a Jeffrey Osborne fan. He's not a bad guy, but I was never attracted to his music. I think I heard him on Mom Rock way too much to dig it. I'm just oversaturated with it. Sergio Mendes, Never Gonna Let You Go, though, I always liked the song. And I didn't know why. But Rick Beato, who is a musician who has a really good YouTube channel, a while back did a video on this song and saying how it's the most complex pop song ever because it's got these crazy weirdo chord changes in it. You know, and it's a pop song. You typically think of pop songs as simple, you know, but sometimes they're not. I think classical music is probably like this, although classical music tends to follow rules where sometimes with pop music, things happen that aren't really supposed to work, but they do. That's how I like to mix. That's my style. Now when it comes to beat mixing in front of an audience, this is why I think we do it. This is why I've done it, and this is how I've done it. We're playing a song that they like, okay? And we're going to go into a song that's very similar in BPM and in key. And we're going to blend them so incredibly seamlessly that they're not going to know they're going from one song to the next. They're just going to stay out there. The rhythm isn't going to change. It's almost a Jedi mind trick. Let's say that the next song you're going to play may not be a song they come out for, but seeing how it's so similar to the song they're out there for, they just stay. If you would have done a bad mix between those two songs, you'd clear your floor. That's super clever. That's a great way to use the beat mixing technique. Now, when I was a mobile DJ back in the 80s, first getting started using turntables and things, we didn't always have the best turntables. In fact, we never did. We had crap turntables. What we had to do is rely on the next song just being great. That's how we kept them out. Of course, the mix had to be good. But it couldn't be that good because we didn't have pitch controls and things to make it that good. We didn't have the speed on the platter to make it that good. So we really just had to rely on the next track being fantastic. So that's kind of been my evolution of this. I started with just picking great tracks. Then I went to this Jedi mind trick thing of mixing in key and tempo and BPM. But now I use all of those things. I've been doing it for a long time. Where not only am I able to make those blends when I want to, but I'm also able just to pick great tracks and rely on great music to keep my dance floor going. I like to do dramatic chord changes that no one would think of, no one would expect coming. There are songs that I really like. For instance, Scritti Police Perfect Weight. That's a complex song too. Somebody recently did a video on that, and I've always loved that song, but I didn't really know why. Gee, it's because I like dramatic key changes. That's me. So I mix like that. I think it's more fun to mix like that. You don't know it's coming. You don't expect it. And I am less concerned with beats than I am tempo. But sometimes I completely ignore that. I just go with the general vibe. So I'm going to give you an example. Sometimes at like a wedding or something like that, if I've got that family hour going on, a set that I've done for many, many years is my twist and shout set. It starts off with Chubby Checkers, the twist. And then it goes into the Beatles twist and shout, and I end with shout. They don't make any sense. I mean, what is it? I see if I read it from here. It's like B minor to A minor to C minor, according to my program here. And yeah, let's see. It's 157.1 to 124.1 to 146.6. How am I doing this? I'm doing it with little fills and bridges and things to connect the songs. Now, it works on my dance floor. It works really well on my dance floor, and I have a lot of energy for it. I'm bringing them out for the twist, right? And they're twisting. But that's kind of a high energy thing to do. But anybody can do it. You don't even need a partner. Then I'm doing twist and shout, which is slower and maybe allows them to catch their breath a little bit. And then I'm going into shout after they've caught their breath and they're warmed up and they can do all the jumping around and things you do on shout. It works really well the way I set it up and the way that I connect these songs together, which obviously is a beat mixing. I'm not mixing in key. I'm using little fills and bridges and songs to connect them. That's how I do it. And I love bridges and songs. There are some songs that I listen to where I can't really pick out the verse and the chorus because it just feels like everything is a bridge to the next thing. It's hard to dissect them in that regard. I love tracks like that. The Bee Gees do tracks like that sometimes. Jefferson Starship, the song With Your Love is kind of like that. It just feels like a bunch of bridges. That is my favorite stuff. So yeah, the drama in the key changes are so cool. And no one expects them. And that's what I love about them. And I've incorporated that into my mixing style. So not only have I figured out why I like things that I like, but I figured out how I mix and how to almost articulate it to you. Now, I can't show you how I do it because then I'll get flagged. But I could at least try to sort of kind of explain it to you. If it made any sense at all. Then, again, I just want to stress, this doesn't mean that I don't mix and key. It doesn't mean that I don't beat mix. I do that. But I'm constantly changing my mixing style so no one in my audience knows something's coming. There's nothing worse for me than to go to a party and kind of know what the DJ is going to play next and how they're going to mix it in. And sometimes you'll go to a party and somebody's beat mixing all night and they're starting on a low BPM and they're building to a higher BPM. You can almost guess where songs are going to go in the mix and how the transition is going to happen because it's the same thing all night. Well, I don't do that. I'm constantly surprising people and doing different styles of mixes and blends and transitions, even styles of songs. I mean, I'm going from boy band stuff to modern stuff to EDM stuff to rock stuff. But for some reason it all works, and I can't even tell you how it works. That's my art. You know, that's how I do things. My dance floor speaks for itself. It's effective. But I don't follow this mathematical rule of anything. I just do what feels right. And I take chances sometimes. And sometimes those chances pay off. Sometimes they fail, you know. But you got to take chances. There's no reward without risk, right? So you're going to be the same DJ for the rest of your life if you just stay in the safe zone. But if you try new things, that's how you grow. And that's what I'm always trying to do. I'm going to wrap this video now. It's probably a bad idea, but it doesn't matter. I've shot it, and it's too late. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.